have been doing. Now, us as a government, we are a government that is pro-business, a government that has set in place legislation as well as policy that promote a good and a conducive business environment, and therefore these allegations that the government has undermined their business just to the extent that they are losing money is not true. They are also saying that the government has contributed to the loss of about 166 containers at the port of Mombasa, which ultimately have impacted on their businesses. We as a government are aware about the position that there is, and therefore this morning I want to give you the true position of such complaints. The complaints came about because of a crackdown that has been carried out by a task force on illegal business, a task force on counterfeit goods. And you'd recall that at some time back, this task force was able to impound the same number of containers they're complaining about as 160 containers, 166 to be precise. These containers did not have relevant documentation. Neither did they have declaration forms to show what is in these containers. However, after a discussion between the government and the businessmen, 132 containers were released. Not 134 actually, no, 134, not 132, 134. That left 132 containers at the port. Now those 132 were released on condition that duty must be paid and the goods in those containers must meet the necessary standards as set by the government. The 32 containers that are still held in Mombasa do not have proper documentation. So you can understand where this complaint is coming from. Now the crackdown was actually necessitated by the desire of government to enforce measures to ensure that duty is actually collected on all imported goods, but also to ensure that there is less entry into the market here of counterfeit goods. So some of those goods that have been coming into the market, like I've mentioned, were evading tax. They were not meeting the quality standards as put by the government, and therefore goods that were actually not suitable for consumption in the country. And therefore, as a government, you must be able to protect the people of this country. Some of the goods that have been known to be brought in the country, illegally, are edible oils, detergents, electronic goods. And from that crackdown, the sales of edible oils have gone up. So you can see what that has done to the economy and what evasion of duty was doing to the economy. It was actually killing the industry here. So coming out of that crackdown, we can see manufacturing also going up by about 4.2%. So there are good things happening. The other complaint is about consolidation of imported goods. Now, previously, these businessmen would go to China, Japan, and buy goods, consolidate them in one container, and then bring them home for verification and inspection at the port of Mombasa. Now, what the government has done now is to ensure that verification and inspection of goods is done at the port of dispatch. It's no longer done at the port of Mombasa. So what the government actually done is to enhance compliance requirements. So that there are 5 companies that have been nominated by government, very reputable companies, to undertake checks, pre-shipment checks, consolidation, and they are shipped after consolidation, so that there is no more checks at the port of Mombasa. So this is what they are complaining about. Why? Because previously they would consolidate them without checks, come to Mombasa, and then be able to, you may bribe some very dishonest, government official, and then bring in the goods without having paid duty. So you can see that this is a complaint that has got no basis whatsoever. What the government has actually done is just to ensure that there is compliance so that duty can be collected enough for the government to be able to provide services to many of the Kenyans. The other complaint that I also wish to brief you on is about the import of second-hand goods or second-hand spare part, let me say it that way. The policy of the government that is being discussed, that has not been completed or concluded, is that as of now, we are all able to import vehicles that are up to 80 years old. What is under discussion is that there will be a time whereby those vehicles that will be imported in the country will not exceed 5 years. That is a subject that is still on the table. It has not been concluded. However, what has been concluded is that there will be a ban on second-hand spare parts. Now, I am saying this well aware that KEBS issued a statement. And what I'm saying and what KEBS did say are the same. I just want to clarify. Now, the ban is not total. The ban is on selected second-hand spare parts, those that we normally call expendable spare parts. These are things like tire dents, tubes, tires, brake pads, brake lining, because these have contributed to the many accidents that we are seeing in the country. Of course, you would recall, I think sometime in February this year, there's a lorry that lost control around Kikope and hit a matatu, and all the occupants of that matatu lost their lives, including, I think, one artist from Nakuru. That's just one example, but there's so many examples that you can think of lorries that have lost control because either one tire came off or it was not able to brake in good time. So government must be able to protect those people who are using public transport. And that is the genesis of this. So I just want to make sure that you get me right. It is not a total ban. It is on selected expendable items. I also wish to brief you on what is going on again in the country about the implementation of the new CBC, which is a competent-based curriculum. Now, there have been issues regarding whether there was sufficient public participation, whether there was sufficient or there is sufficient preparation in the schools as far as facilities are concerned, about capacity of the teachers. And I'm here to tell you this morning that the implementation of the CBC could not have been rolled out without sufficient public participation. This is a lengthy process that began way back about 5 years ago. And the implementation only comes at the tail end of that process. The process of engagement with the public was spearheaded by National Steering Committee for Curriculum Development. And there are many stakeholders, including KUPPET, including NAT, including Kenya Publisher Alliance. Many other stakeholders were involved. Of course, I'll give you a list of all those who are involved. Okay? And therefore, this sentiment that are coming around that this curriculum is being implemented without sufficient public participation is not true. Of course, participation or the need for participation is an ongoing process. We'll continue engaging. And the whole idea is to have a curriculum that can be able to teach our children the necessary skills that would enable them to be marketable within the job market, and also to be able to respond appropriately with the demands of modern day, technological environment. And that is the genesis of this CBC, right? The other sentiment is about preparation of the teachers, whether the teachers are actually ready for this. And I have to tell you today that preparation of the teacher is also an ongoing process that has been going on for some time now. The Ministry of Education is preparing again to have another training session for teachers in August. But as of now, over 1,900 teachers have specifically been trained on CBC. But I may also wish to add that there is no teacher in any of our national schools, or even private, who is not trained. So there is no teacher that we can say is going to implement this CBC that has got no basic teacher training. So what is my point here? My point is this, that these teachers have got the basic necessary skills to be able to implement the CBC. So what is required is just to reorient a little bit of the skills that they already have so that they can be able to effectively implement the CBC. So the idea that teachers are not ready, teachers do not have the necessary capacity is not true. All right? And like I did mention, it's an ongoing process. We'll continuously empower train, empower them so that they can be, effective in terms of implementation. And even you keep on training, don't you? You don't train once and stay there. So there is continuous training in order to acquire new skills and be able to be ready for the changing global environment. There have also been concerns about the lack of sufficient facilities in our schools. And we do acknowledge that we do not have, what you can call same standard in all of our primary schools. There are those that have more, there are those that have less. But the Ministry of Education and the government as a whole has consistently continued to invest in those schools. As of last year, the government was able to invest 200 million in primary schools as far as facilities are concerned. This year, the government plans to invest another 250 million. This might look like a drop in the ocean, but I'm here to tell you that even Rome was not built in one day. So we'll continuously keep on updating our facilities, keep on adding our facilities, but we're also leveraging on the CDF as well as the county governments to help us be able to achieve the necessary standards that we require in our schools. But meanwhile, the CBC will continue to be implemented. I also wish to remind the public about the Huduma number. We know that there has been a window that was given, and the window is coming to a close on the 25th. That's 2 days from today. We therefore wish to urge Kenyans to continue registering. As of now, we have been able to register about over 36 million Kenyans. So when the mass registration comes to an end on Saturday, what will happen thereafter is the process of cleaning the data. Because there will be some areas that the data may look same, or maybe it was not entered properly. So for those whose data would be required to be repeated, then they would be communicated to go and register afresh. So you may have registered, yes, but in the process of cleaning data, then you are found to have either given wrong number of your ID card, wrong number of your birth certificate. You'll be communicated to, and then you'll be able to be required to register afresh. Now, where will you register then? After 25th of May, that is after 2 days from now, registration will be taken back to the local assistant chiefs. So anybody who would have missed register now will go and register at the local assistant chiefs. The only problem with that, and that we are asking that all of us should be able to take advantage of this window before it closes, because there will be no extension, is that the chief or the assistant chief will have other responsibility or commitments, so he will not give you, priority. So you have an opportunity now to be able to register and take advantage of this window. Finally, I also want to talk about, what as a people we see. From where I sit, there's a lot that I think as a government we are doing. There's a lot that we are doing. And we're not doing it for those who are in leadership only. We are doing it for the entire population. Some of us today are able to leave Nairobi, go to their homes, maybe 450 kilometers away, without stepping on mud, which was not possible 5, 6 years, 10 years ago. But what do we get all the time? That the government is not doing this, it's not doing that, it's not. Why don't you also appreciate the little that you may think the government is doing? Because it can't be that all the time just negative, negative. I remember somebody once said, kwamba mnyonge mnyongeni lakini haki yake fanya nini? Apewe. So as you demonize, also try to look for those good things, that the government is doing. Thank you very much. Now, yes?
First, congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
My name is Frederick, I work for authoritative. Nauliza kwa Kiswahili. La kwanza ni umesema kwamba kulikuwa na container 166 ambazo zilikuwa zimekamatwa. Hata hivyo 134 zimeachiliwa. Kwa nini hizi 134 ziliachiliwa na hizi 32 zikaachwa? La kwanza. La pili ni kuhusu spare parts. Kuna magari yote ambayo yanaingia humu nchini, umesema ni miaka 8 ambayo yameruhusiwa kuingia, ambayo ni nzee. Kwa nini tusiruhusu spare parts ambazo ni mzee, sababu magari yenyewe yamezeeka? Kwa nini tusiruhusu yaingie nchini? Ungetueleza pia hizi kampuni 5 ambazo umezitaja ambazo zitakuwa zikifanya check and balances kule Uchina, ningeshukuru. La mwisho, kumekuwa na uvamizi katika nyumba ya gavana wa Kiambu. Najua kwa sasa ushajua hayo. Je, mnapania kumkamata gavana mwenyewe? Asante.
Asante sana kwa swali hilo. Nimesema kwamba kumekuwa na container 166 kweli. Na kati ya hizo 32 zimeachiliwa, 132 bado ziko kwenye mikono ya serikali, lakini 132 zimeachiliwa. 134 zimeachiliwa, samahani. Na ni kwa sababu kumekuwa na mazungumzo baina ya walioleta mizigo hiyo na serikali. Mazungumzo hiyo ilikuwa ni ya kina zaidi, na wamekubali kwamba watalipia ushuru na kwamba bidhaa ambazo wameleta itakuwa kwenye kiwango ambayo imewekwa na serikali. Ila hizi 32 wenyewe hawapo, hawajulikani wakina nani, hazina stakabadhi za kutosha. Itakuwaje sasa? Kwa hivyo kuna mazungumzo yalifanywa kwa kina baina ya serikali na hao wafanyabiashara, na walikubali kwamba watalipia nini? Ushuru, lakini pia vitakuwa ni viwango kulingana na kadiri iliwekwa na serikali. Nafikiri hapo umenielewa. Kuhusu magari na vipuri, unauliza kwamba inakuwaje kwamba serikali inakubali miaka 8 kwa magari, lakini inafanya nini? Inafanya kuzuia vipuri ambazo ni chini ya miaka 8 ama zisio ambazo za kutoka nje. Ni kwa sababu vile nilikuwa nimesema mwanzo kwamba ajali nyingi zinasababishwa na nini? Na vipuri hivi. Because zinapoletwa hujui ziko na ubora wa kiwango gani. Unielewa? Na ndio sababu pia serikali inazidi kuzungumza na wadau kuhusu kupunguza miaka ya magari toka 8 hadi 5. Mazungumzo yanaendelea bado, lakini vipuri kufikia tarehe 1 mwezi wa 7, vipuri ambazo nilitaja havitaruhusiwa tena nchini, ila tu zile ambazo ziko dukani zitauzwa, zikimalizika basi itakuwa ndio mwisho. Nafikiri umenielewa hapo. Kuhusu uvamizi wa gavana wa Kiambu, nyumba ya gavana wa Kiambu, hiyo sitaweza kuongea saizi kwa sababu kuna kitengo cha serikali kinahusika, kuna taasisi ya maadili na kuzuia ufisadi ambao wanahusika pale. Kwa hivyo nitaacha wamalize uchunguzi wao, manake wao wanajua kwa sababu gani wameenda pale. Asante. Yeah, bwana.
My name is Mashalia from Mount Kenya TV, and my question will be related to the city.
That is the newly appointed government spokesman, retired Colonel Cyrus Oguna, holding his second media briefing this morning, discussing an array of issues, among them the controversial ban of importation of second-hand spare parts for vehicles. Many Kenyans taking issue with that, saying it will lead to massive job losses in the informal sector. The government spokesman there, however, said that that ban is not a total ban, but one that has been imposed only on selected spare parts. He also addresses the issue of the competency-based curriculum, the new education curriculum there, saying it is not true that public participation was not employed in this process, and he says the government is still in the process of training